back to Campbell Kitchen, guys. Today we're going to learn how to make sticky toffee pudding. Sticky toffee pudding. It is a delicious dessert. You guys want to learn how to make it? Stay tuned. First step is to make your caramel. Add sugar, butter, corn syrup, and cream to a sauce pot. Bring to a boil. Turn the heat down low and let it cook low and slow. It can take anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes. Once it gets that nice dark amber color, remove it from the heat and whisk in your heavy cream. Now do this nice and slow because if the caramel is very hot, it will bubble over and it can hurt you. So just make sure you whisk nice and slow, let it cool down a little bit, and you'll have a beautiful caramel that you can set aside and use for later. The next step, we're going to make our date puree. Pit medjool dates, or any kind of dates that you prefer, place them in a sauce pot, cover with water, and boil until completely soft. Boil over low heat. Now that your dates are nice and soft, you can add them to a blender or Robot and just puree until nice and smooth. Now it's time to actually put the dry ingredients together. I sift all my ingredients. First I add the flour, baking soda, baking powder, and a little bit of salt. I whisk that into a larger bowl, and I'll be adding that to the cake in 3 different stages, as you'll see in just a moment. Now that you have all the dry ingredients together, set aside, and let's mix together the butter and the sugar. I add the brown sugar to softened butter, and I whip until well incorporated. Once it's well incorporated, scrape down the sides, and now you're ready to add your egg. Add your egg and vanilla extract, and beat over low heat until it's mixed together. It may appear a little broken, but don't worry, it's going to turn out just fine. Now we're ready to add the date puree. Place the puree in the mixer and mix together over low speed. Once it's fully incorporated, we're going to add the dry ingredients. I like to add the dry ingredients in 3 different stages over low speed. You don't want to overwork the flour, otherwise you get a really chewy cake. So I do the first batch, the second batch, and the final batch. And as you can see, that looks really beautiful. It comes together nicely and it's ready to bake off. I'm using a muffin pan that has 6-ounce molds. You can use any size you'd like. You could probably even do a large cake, but I'm just using the 6-ounce portions because that turns out really nice and it's good for 1 serving. So bake it at 350 until it's cooked all the way through. I use a cake tester to double check. Once it's cool, flip it over on your cutting board, and now we're going to cut them in half. Cut each cake in half. Sometimes you can cut off the very ends to make sure it lays flat, but I like to keep all the cake. And the reason why we cut them in half, I'm going to show you right now, is we layer them in between caramel. So you're going to do a scoop of caramel, half a slice of cake, another scoop of caramel, the other half of cake, and then top it with more caramel. So you're going to want this thing saturated with that delicious caramel. And you're going to place it back in the oven until the caramel gets nice and bubbly, and it turns out nice and caramelized and dark and bubbly, and it's really good. And to finish it off, I put it on a plate, cover it with some more of that wonderful caramel, make sure to top it with either ice cream or whipped cream, and eat it while it's warm. Good luck eating just one. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more videos in the near future, and thanks for watching.